I have the resources for you to take advantage of and make this dream an actual reality by next year. This is my signature course, the Freelance Paralegal Roadmap. I only open this a few times a year. It is currently in open status for enrollment. You can take a systematized roadmap and set actionable goals to be able to get there. And you enter in the new year ringing in that you have a full client list and you are now a six-figure earner. Welcome back to the Freelance Paralegal Lounge. Jacqueline Foster here. I am super excited to be talking today about the true reality and how a freelance paralegal can be earning $100,000 a year while still taking 3 months of vacation. Now, before we jump in, I want to give myself some credibility. I don't talk about these things from a hypothetical standpoint. I'm not here to sell you some pipe dream that sounds nice, but is just a long stretch to achieve. I can talk about these things and be as bold as saying $100,000 in 10 months because I did it myself. I started my business March 23rd of 2020 as a freelance paralegal. By that December, we were earning the monthly income necessary to hit a six-figure year. We hit a six-figure year in our first fiscal year in business, and then I went on to scale this business to $500,000 by the third full year in business. Further, I coach paralegals all over the United States that have gone on to build multiple six-figure businesses, and I'm well acquainted with other freelance paralegals that came even before me and have very successful six-figure businesses. So in this episode today, I really want to demystify and make it more reasonable in your mind to how this can actually be achievable and why by January 2025, you will be on your way to hitting your first year as a six-figure earner. So first, let me talk about how it's feasible for freelance paralegals to earn that six figures by talking about the rates out there. Again, none of this is hypothetical. All of this is my industry knowledge. I've worked with over 300 law firms over my years in business in their staffing of 1099 paralegals, as well as I run and operate a freelance paralegal directory, Freelance Paralegals USA, where we gather data on what paralegals are currently listing their services at and where the median is falling. The median rate for a freelance paralegal is on our directory falling in that $60 per hour range. Now, we do have professionals in there offering legal assistant services, which they're charging a little bit lower, obviously, than a full-blown senior paralegal would be charging. So it does mess up our data a little bit in knowing what the actual median is. However, I have always known and suspected that that $60 an hour range is in the smack dab middle. However, what I'm seeing in trends this year, which is really, really cool, is that median is increasing. I'm seeing more and more paralegals charging higher hourly rates, and that bottom rate of the range is coming up as well. So I like to now use the sample of $70 per hour for a freelance paralegal. And no, this is not just for your corporate, for your intellectual property, litigation paralegals, for any of these, hard to come by type roles. And I feel I need to say that because I'm always going to have that one person that hops in and says, but. I am seeing this rate in the family law space, in the civil litigation space, personal injury, work comp, employment law, criminal, estate planning, probate. I am seeing it across the board in all practice areas for all 50 states. So you can pull out your calculator right now, pause this video, and do the math yourself. If you were charging $70 per hour as a freelance paralegal, what would you be making? And I've recently been seeing a lot of people, paralegals, getting on posts about, well, you can make $100,000 a year, great, but you're losing all those benefits that you get for being an employee, such as paid time off. That's why I like to say the $100,000 mark is still achievable while giving yourself 2 months, 3 months of vacation time in the mix of it all. Further, if you're not interested yet to charge $70 an hour, maybe you feel more comfortable at the lower end of the median. Maybe you feel more comfortable in the $60 per hour range getting started if you haven't, totally believed me yet in how possible this is, and you want to start out in that hourly rate, which I could do a whole podcast episode on cautioning you from undercharging your services, as you will likely regret it down the road when you have to go and increase your hourly rate. But even plug away on some numbers at that hourly rate. How much would you have to work? What amount of vacation time can you expect to still earn that six-figure income? And compare it to what you're earning now and how much vacation time you have right now. I can almost guarantee you 90% of you, it is way more lucrative than what you're currently experiencing in your firm. And for those of you that it's probably not as lucrative, you really need to be analyzing, if I'm making $100,000 as a full-time employee, I am likely very, very valuable in my experience and the niche that I'm working within. As a result, you can be looking at joining those paralegals that are charging the 90, the 100, the 150, even up to hourly rate. It's very simple to sort of navigate what your going rate would be as a paralegal is to just look at what you're doing right now, the law firms you've worked for in your practice area. What are they charging their clients for paralegal work? We obviously want to make sure our clients are maintaining a very healthy profit margin within their work with you, and that you give them an hour and they can make money off of that hour they pay you for. So they're seeing the immediate return on investment. But it really does simplify things if you can just think of it from that angle. First and foremost, I want to address the freelance paralegal market, as it is so incredibly vital for you to start believing that there is a market to be able to go and offer your services at this hourly rate for. Because I know that first initial reaction is, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. But there can't be that many attorneys out in this world that would be willing to hire freelance paralegals. Or if there are, they're already swooped up by other paralegals. And I feel like I can't be as competitive. There's not enough to go around. So that's why I want to take a brief moment here to discuss the true market of the freelance paralegal. First and foremost, you have to get yourself out of the mentality that freelancing is not an actual business. There's this misconception out there that freelancing is not sustainable. It's not something you do long term. It's things that you grab here and there and everywhere. A project this month, a project next month, 2 projects this month, no project that month. And while yes, you absolutely can approach your freelancing that way, even in the beginning, just to start getting your feet wet and start getting projects and gaining that experience and that confidence, it is definitely not the standard for this space. In fact, I wish that I didn't have to brand myself freelance paralegal, but it's really truly the only term that is universally understood to what capacity that paralegal is working. What I used to brand myself as is paralegal entrepreneur, but that took a little bit more convincing for my market, and I went with the easier searchable keyword. Because when you start freelancing as a paralegal, what you're truly becoming is a business owner. And just like attorneys that instead of going and working for law firms or companies go to start their own practice, their own law firm, and acquire their own clients, you as a paralegal can do the exact same, wherein instead of going and working as a W-2 employee, you are now coming to start your own business and acquire your own clients, which just happen to be attorneys. But the key difference here is you have it so much easier than said attorney in acquiring clients, because attorneys, their work with their clients is open and shut, meaning a case starts, it proceeds, and then it finishes. And they're required to continuously bring in more clients every single month to keep that business running. So they have a lot more going on with their marketing strategy and their plan to keep their business not only sustaining, but growing. You as the freelance paralegal, the majority of the clients that you will be running into are going to use you time over time for their large variety of cases that they continue to bring into their firm, which gives you that client retention piece of it and helps you realize how this can be a truly sustainable business. So let's run through really quickly why attorneys are hiring freelance paralegals, as it will give you some huge insight as to why you can be very successful within this market. There are the obvious reasons that are very well known for attorneys hiring freelance paralegals, such as saving on payroll costs, office space, fringe benefits, like PTO, healthcare, dental, all of those things. But those benefits go beyond just the cost savings. It's their ability to make more money, which is truly where you get that edge in the industry. Because as attorneys are growing their law firms, which typically they are in every single quarter, they're trying to grow and to get to that next revenue level, you are there to support that bottom line. So what that looks like is an attorney is, say Joe. Attorney Joe is trying to hit the next level of their business. They're trying to hit their first 7-figure mark, climbing from the $600,000 revenue. As they're doing that from $600,000 to say their first 7 figures, they are increasing their marketing efforts, increasing their presence in the community. They are investing time into actually building this business like a business and not just a law practice. But what happens is that also brings in a ton of more work. And in between the phase of bringing in new clients and getting to that next growth level, they're in this sticky spot of saying, if I bring in new revenue, and I have to hire a new paralegal for that, it could take a whole year before I actually start seeing my bottom line and my total profitability increasing with that new revenue stream. That's where they start to feel like they're hitting these ceilings constantly with, I get to this level, but I go down to this level in my profits. They are always in some form of growth phase in their business that will always remain true, and they will always need support in sustaining those phases. And what they are finding is as they bring in freelance paralegals for 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week, 20 hours a week, whatever the need is in their current growth moment, they're able to have immediate return on investment, which means their bottom line is able to increase as their top line increases from day one. When we look at business ownership, if you can find a problem out in an industry that's so very great and come up with a solution that absolutely solves that problem, there is a business being born. Here, I am telling you that there's an absolute need in the market. There's an absolute problem, not only with costs, we're even talking about recruiting, overhead, costs of employees, not even going down the rabbit hole of finding competent support in the form of a W-2. They're at the mercy of the current employee market. They're at the mercy of the law firm up the road paying 10x what they can pay in benefits and all of these luxuries that come with it. And so they are constantly feeling forced to hire less than what they need in experience, train up, which does not solve their problem of needing to sustain their growth. And then finally, just everything I said about sustaining that growth and getting their bottom line to go up with their top line a lot quicker. You are an immediate return on investment for them. You come with no extra cost, so they can actually track and predict their next phase of growth. Okay, so now I'm pretty positive I have you convinced that there's a true market in this industry for freelance paralegals. I know now what I need to prove to you is that you have the ability to acquire these clients needing said support, because I know that always lingers. Many paralegals have tried going down the path of freelancing. They've tried having businesses and they have failed miserably in gaining clients. It's the burning question out there. How do I get a client? How do I get a client? How do I get a client? So for a moment, let's focus on the 3 months ahead of you. Say we're starting here in April. We have April, May, and June. During April, May, and June, you do not need to be focusing on necessarily getting clients. Now, you can definitely expedite these next 3 months depending on the time you have to dedicate to what I'm about to tell you you need to do. If you don't, let's just give yourself 3 months before you even start configuring how you're going to get clients. You're going to be starting by establishing your business as a business from day one, which means you're not just going to throw spaghetti at a wall, put freelancing on your LinkedIn, put yourself in a directory or a freelancing marketplace such as Upwork, not even just throwing yourself in Freelance Paralegals USA, which is my directory dedicated specifically for paralegals to advertise their services. We're not going to think that we will build it by putting our name out there as a freelance paralegal and they will just come. There's so much more involved into creating a freelance paralegal business that's going to scale into 6 figures within 10 months than doing just that. First and foremost, you need to establish your business model. I want you to look towards the future and what you see long-term for yourself. Where do you want yourself to go? And then even push yourself further in the vision beyond the vision. You have to establish what model of business you're going to establish from day one so that you're making the decisions on everything else that comes into formulating a business and creating services and packaging them together and putting this business out there. You have to be thinking about your ultimate goal, so you're doing that in alignment so that you can scale seamlessly even beyond that first 6 figures. So as you know, okay, do I want to go solo? Do I want to eventually build a team? Do I want to go into the agency route of freelancing, of this paralegal space of contract paralegals? You then know how to start picking and choosing your service offerings that will align appropriately with that business model from a management and scalability standpoint. And once you picture those 2 components and put them together, it's now time to spend the absolute most time you will ever spend on building your business in establishing your ideal client. In my Freelance Paralegal Roadmap course, I call this the North Star client. The reason is it is your look north. It is the pointing you in the right direction for everything else you do in your business thereafter. You have to know who you're trying to serve on such a professional, intimate level to be able to properly serve them in the way that they're seeking and the way that they will resonate with. Once you do these things, as you build out your pricing, as you build out your personal brand, as you build out your website and your softwares and your systems and your onboarding and all these things, you're going to take your client through this journey on in your business. You'll know exactly what needs to be in place because you have taken the time to understand the person you are putting through your business. And if you do this legwork during, like I said, April, May, and June, for instance, once we get into July, August, September, we are now ready to start content marketing. The biggest mistake I see paralegals make in their marketing, in their content marketing specifically, which is the best form of marketing you will ever do for your business, as it will continue to pay you tenfold year over year. You're going to continue to double your results in it as it builds on itself. But the biggest mistake I see freelance paralegals making is they do too much business promotion, self-promotion, and not enough authority building, industry expertise content. And it's not that you're not marketing through this authority building content. You are marketing, but you're marketing in a way that doesn't appear that you're marketing, first and foremost. And second of all, it accomplishes the same thing as to leading a client to want to sign you, but you're going to get much faster results in doing it this way than just promoting your business. And let me just draw that line and the difference on it. Now, I spent 5.5 hours on my freelance paralegal marketing mastermind this week, teaching 100 paralegals how to properly content market, and how that content marketing will then lead into your direct outreach, will lead into your podcasting, your networking, your referral marketing, even your paid marketing. I taught them for 5.5 hours. But this is the one thing you really, really need to understand. Every single time you go out to market your business, you're making a post, you're writing a blog, you're making an infographic, whatever that may be on social media, you have to follow the framework, not just who you are, what your business does, the services you offer. You need to be marketing to who is it that you're marketing to? What problem are they currently facing? What do you want them to learn from all of that, and why? And your why is typically leading them what to do next. In that content marketing, not only are you gaining a client, possibly, or putting a client into your space, you're establishing industry authority as a whole. You're becoming a known person that is here to serve in the industry, that has original thoughts and ideas to share with the industry to better it and the ideal client that is your ideal client that exists within it. If you focus April, May, and June, or focus initially, maybe it takes you 3 weeks to get through the initial phase. You're focusing on this 8 hours a day to build out that business, April, May, and June. By July, August, and September, as you start marketing, you will gain your first, your second, probably your third client within those 3 months. So now you have 2 clients, 10 hours each per week. That's 20 hours. You're making the decision, do I pull back part-time or do I continue to hustle through those months of working full-time and having this extra 20 hours that I have to navigate over the course of my weekends and evenings? Now we have October, November, and December. So we've had April, May, June to build the business so that June, July, and August, our correct marketing is effective and we get our first couple of clients. Now we have October, November, and December to just keep that going. Now you're going to see quicker results because likely you've interacted with a lot of people. Likely you have worked with your clients already. Likely you're going to start seeing referrals coming in as well if you haven't already through just the networking on LinkedIn. And in these months, you're going to make a decision. Do I stick it out at my law firm till the end of the year to get that bonus, or do I the bonus is kind of obsolete to me right now because I'm on my way to make 6 figures next year. And you enter in the new year ringing in that you have a full client list and you are now a 6-figure earner. And you start planning when you're going to take that vacation time that you've left a ton of room for yourself to do while still making 6 figures. Number 1, demystifying the concept of a 6-figure earner in the freelance paralegal space. It's not as far stretched as some may make it out to be. Number 2, we talked about why there is so many clients out there waiting to find you, waiting to hire you. There's a huge need within the law firm growth and sustainability space for attorneys needing to access competent professionals, paralegals, even legal assistants, intake coordinators, legal tech professionals, consultants, all the above. They are waiting to find you. And number 3, how you can take a systematized roadmap and set actionable goals to be able to get there. If you want that step-by-step, if you want to avoid decision paralysis, if you want to avoid not knowing what to work on next, this is my signature course, the Freelance Paralegal Roadmap. I only open this a few times a year. It is currently in open status for enrollment. Once you purchase it, you're ready to go. It is self-paced, but I only open the doors a few times a year. Currently until April 15th, only until April 15th, it is discounted. That's it. Till April 15th, it's discounted, and then it goes into full price for another week. So if you are going to be grabbing this course, grab it now, grab it today, grab it this weekend. Make sure you grab it while you can get and take advantage of that discount. I will take you through establishing your business model. I will take you through setting your services, helping you find your North Star client and knowing them intimately on a professional level and a personal level to truly understand what they're needing from you. Aligning that with your pricing, with your services, making sure it's all coming together for long-term scalability and is actually solving the problem of your ideal client. And then aligning that to your personal brand, making sure that you are truly building out your ideal client as somebody that you're here and meant to work with, and taking you into the content marketing and showing you, now that you know what your business is, look at how simple this is going to be once you get to content marketing, and follow my path of content marketing. I give you 365 days of prompts, the intro to content marketing, showing you how to structure things, how to truly market your business in a way that actually generates true results in the speed that you need it to generate. Because once you go through my whole roadmap and you get to that last piece, that content marketing piece, it's going to be light bulb moment. It clicks. You know exactly why I took you through everything I took you through on the roadmap. The Freelance Paralegal Roadmap, it is discounted. That's it. Till April 15th, it's discounted, and then it goes into full price for another week. So if you are going to be grabbing this course, grab it now, grab it today, grab it this weekend. Make sure you grab it while you can get and take advantage of that discount. I've linked up the course in the description below. Make sure that you go check it out. If you're wondering everything that's included in that course, there's templates, contracts, all the things you'll need to truly establish your business, as well as the trainings, the workbook, and getting through this so that you have a really solid business that you can start marketing this summer and get on your way to freelancing full-time next year and have a 6-figure year ahead of you. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments. I will be monitoring the comments section, especially for questions on the course, to make sure I get to them before that discount period ends on the 15th of April. I totally believe you can do this. I promise you, I believe you can do this because I have coached other paralegals to do it. I've done it myself, and I watch how those paralegals that went on to do it started really skeptical, started really insecure, nervous, imposter syndrome, doubtful, all the negative words you can come up with in what would hold them back from just starting. I have the resources for you to take advantage of and make this dream an actual reality by next year. All right. Thank you so very much for watching today. As again, leave any questions in the comments. And as always, until next time, have great weeks ahead of you.